Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome once again to the Maxify UI/UX Bootcamp. It's week 5. It's been an amazing 5 weekends, and today is the fifth weekend, and we'll be looking at creating variants, components, and practically creating um, a landing page today. To kick off the class today, we would first of all want to give a little bit of general class feedback on your assignments that you had over the week, right? I know that a lot of us had to do some revisiting of the class videos to watch it over again. I just want you to know that it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. It's your first time. And of course, we expect that it should be like that. So I would give Chacha the floor to oh, okay. Church has jumped out of the call. I wanted to give her the floor to address your assignment and talk to you. I've actually, on my own end, I've actually dropped comments on the board. I want you guys to know that every one of you tried your best. It's a very good start. All right, it's a very very good start, and it usually begins like that. All right, and over time and over time and over time, you begin to get better and better and better. One thing I want you to know is that the concept of design, it didn't start today, all right? It didn't start today. And one of the big mistakes a lot of designers make is that they want to create everything by themselves, all right? So design, you get inspiration from the works of other people. You take a look at people's work. Wow, I like this. Just the way ladies will see um, an hairstyle, maybe a hairstyle from another lady, and like, oh, I like this. Let me make this hairstyle. And when you make it, you want to add something more to your own, right? So that's how design works. You look at other people's works. Oh, you see what is nice, and then you try to also at the beginning stage, I do advise students to replicate, right? To replicate designs. If you replicate over and over and over, you will be able to do your own even without having to replicate. That means you have been able to do what the experts are doing. Then you'll be able to do your own for yourself, all right? So that's the whole concept of designing and of course like getting into design. But before we move on, I'd like us to take okay, we are just four: Jimmy, Diane, Raphael, and Miriam. So I think Raphael and Jimmy were able to submit the assignment. So I want to hear from you. What was the process you took, and how was the experience in trying to actually create that? Did it look like, I thought this thing was very easy in the class. Why is it looking like so now? So let's hear from you so that we would understand how you felt while you were doing your assignment. So I think Raphael, you submitted first, so you should go first. Gmail, okay, you also prepared to say how you felt. All right, so Raphael, let's hear from you.
Ah, so it wasn't really easy trying to replicate the what you did because I was trying to follow up from the class video because I was um, simultaneously watching the video and then doing the assignment. But to be honest, it wasn't easy because there's something I'll try to do like you did, but then it won't work out that way, and then I'll have to try over again. But actually, it was a wonderful experience. It was.
Okay, that's great to know. I mean, it's always like that. Even in primary school, you realize that you realize that classworks are easier than assignments. That's actually the difference is just experience. It might look easy when I'm doing it, but then uh, just continue one thing you need to understand the procedure, understand the pattern, how I'm actually doing it. That's what you actually need. If you know how I'm doing it, it will be easy for you to be able to do it. You understand? Okay, so Jimmy,
Okay, so basically my major challenge was having to do the create the color styles. I don't know, maybe it was something I was not doing right, but having to create it was quite difficult,
okay,
even after watching the class the class video. So I probably think, I don't know, maybe it was something I was not doing, or I was not doing something correctly. But aside that, it was at first it was quite challenging, but it was, I like the challenge, but I actually had a good time working on it. And after the whole experience, like I felt really proud that I could actually do something like this in such a
exactly.
short period of time. So yes, it was nice. It was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's great. I like that you felt you felt good about the whole thing. Yeah, it's normal for you to experience that. There's just something maybe you are not actually doing that's making it not to work exactly the way mine worked did. Okay, so we're still going to continue today. Um, let me see if Chacha is back on the call. Chacha was supposed to review for you guys, but guess our network. All right. So today, first thing we're going to look at is, from last week we established that we're going to be doing a project, which is an e-commerce project, and of course on this e-commerce app, the the products are going to be tech talent, and we established all that. We established all that, all right. But there's a little bit of change. There's a little bit of change. There's a little bit of adjustment. You guys know we have quite a very short time for this training, all right. So e-commerce seems to be a very, very complex system for us to work on. So we had a meeting with the instructors and the founder and everybody, right? And we decided that we should now go the route of just an e-learning platform. All right. Every knowledge that you have learned is still going to apply to what we are doing. For instance, logins are still going to be logins. Do you understand? All right. So we are going to be actually creating a a website like maybe Udemy or Coursera for the Maxify Bootcamp. So that's the route we'll be taking. Okay. So for today, we'll first of all start by learning about components and variants. I'm going to share my screen now so that I'll first of all show you what we'll be doing, then we'll learn about components and variants. All right. So let me come here. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, if you can see my screen, then that's perfect. So, first of all, last week we were here where we created. Let me go to the students' playground. We were here where we created this in class. We're just playing around, showing you how to actually use all these elements. Are you getting me now? In class, all right. So then after the class, I dropped a mood board. I told you guys that if we're to be doing something very, very professional in class, there will be too many questions and all that. So I dropped a mood board for you guys to see that, okay, you can actually take it from that small step to creating something that is like so, right? So you have like, this is still the talent project. You have like a create account, your talent, your sign in. You have your registration and authentication module contains your login, your sign in, your forgot password, your reset password. This is your reset password. This is that interface where you enter a code and all that, right? So I know that we didn't create this in class, but then we're going to be recreating something today in the class, okay? All right, so we saw that, but today we are not going to be proceeding with the talent project. We are going to be proceeding with the Maxify Bootcamp platform. And for the Maxify Bootcamp platform, I've created the what we will be recreating. All right, what we'll be recreating. First and foremost, we'll be recreating uh all the authentication and registration, and this is a create account. Should look like it should look like this. Where is it now? Like this. Aha. So uh, so it will look like this. You get, this is like a create account screen, and you see that. Then you have the sign in screen, right? And then we have the forgot password screen, right? And then I will also bring in that or those other reset password and other screens there. And then we'll also be creating the landing page. So today is basically all about practicals. We'll be creating this landing page. This is the landing page for the reason why before the class I've created it is so that we don't have to start um, thinking too much and going up and down in the class trying to get resources, right? So this is like the landing page that we're going to be creating, Maxify Bootcamp. That it tabs are categories, teach, contact us, about us. You can search and then you can log in and sign up. Usually when you are able to access an e-learning platform directly, then it is when you want to carry out some task to now tell you to log in. For instance, maybe when you want to buy or register for a course, it will now tell you to log in or sign up. You understand? Then under here we have the categories, right? We have the categories which we have UI UX. These are design categories. These are development categories, media and all that. Right. So you can see the banner. So these are the courses so far. Right. This is what we are going to be working on today. We'll work on this today to the end, right? So for us to be able to work on that, I told you guys that the first thing, please, in case if you have any question while I'm talking, just ask me. I told you guys that the very first thing you do when you get a project is that you should create a design system, and that's why I've created a design system, and I believe all of you understand how to go about this. Please, is there anybody that doesn't understand how to go about this, and you have not watched the last class video? Anybody? I believe everyone understands how to go about that now. Is if you do, just type, if you understand how to create your design system, just type a yes in the comment box. I need that feedback.
So please, is it possible I can just go over it just briefly, please?
Okay, all right. That's very possible. Like I said, for your design system, the design system is just like when you want to prepare food, right? What you can do is that you have to go to the market to buy everything that you need. Then when you come back from the market, you start arranging everything. Maybe you cut your onions and put it somewhere. You grind your pepper, you put it somewhere. Your, I don't know, other things. Yeah. I sure know that when I want to cook onions and pepper and other things, anyone I remember, right? You just arrange all those things. You get that is the same way you are arranging your design system. Number one, you are looking at your asset. You say, okay, first of all, for this brand, if for instance you want to work for Facebook as a product designer, as that's an example, right? First thing you need their brand identities. What is brand identities? Brand identities is those things that are used to identify a brand. For instance, Facebook, how do you identify Facebook? Number one, you identify Facebook with the color. You identify Facebook with the logo. Do you understand? So you also identify Facebook with some other things too, right? So they are the brand asset first. You get the logo. You keep your logo here. The colors, which are the brand colors. And we have all learned about the 60-30-10 color rule. So you also specify your 60, your 30, and your accent color, which is your 10%. So that's the first thing you arrange. You arrange your typography. Typography contains which what's it called now? The typeface you are using, right? In the other project, we used Montserrat alternates. Yeah, we used Montserrat alternate here, right? And the text itself is Montserrat alternate, but here we're using Futura, all right? So you use Futura. Then I already showed you in the last class how to create your your heading, your text style, right? That was where we came to say, okay, if you're outside here, you can create a text style, your local style. When I click here, I click on text. I already know that the current one, maybe I want to, let me say I want to create my display one text, right? I told you that we have headings as well. Maybe I want to use headings. We have how many headings in, okay, let me ask the question now. In the comment, in the chat box, I want to see your responses. How many heading styles do we have? How many heading styles do we have in the chat box? How many heading styles do we have? Okay. All right. So we have six. We have six heading styles. And the largest one is heading one. The smallest size is heading six, right? So let's say you want to create heading one. You come here, heading one, you write a description for it, and then the typeface you are using is Futura. So here you just select what your for since it is heading, maybe select your font that you can actually or you can type it in. I don't know, maybe uh 64, very big, right? And then this is about your line height. Your line height is the height of your text. You understand? Is the height of your text. It determines the spacing between two lines of text. You understand? So you can decide to set that on auto or you set it by yourself. Then you have a letter spacing, how spaced the each letters in your text will be. All right, and then you have your paragraph space. So with this, we can easily just create this style like so. Why there are other settings you can do. You can decide that anything you are typing here, the sentence case. You get this is the case, right? You can decide that anything you're typing should be upper case, it should be lower case, it should be title case. Yeah, understand? So depend on whatever. Okay, so maybe let's say we want to set our headings to underline your titles or structure, of course, kind of text, or you want it to look at once the ascenders and descenders to enter into the baseline. So of course we don't just leave it here. List spacing, but all those things are stuff you can do. And also you see details, indentation, angle list, paragraph indent, all those things you can actually set them. Case, position, you have superscript and subscript. All those things are explorations you can explore. Then when we create that, you have created your what? Your heading one text star. So if you write something, maybe I write hello, hello, right? Hello, right? If that hello is currently on, monstrat alternate, right? So I'll just do what? I'll just come here and click on these four boxes and select my current style that I've created, which is heading one, and I click it. It changes it, number one, to the font type. It changes it to the font size. It changes it, the font face. It changes it to Futura and everything that we have said before. So that's basically how to create your typographic styles. I don't know if that is clear now.
Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's how
So
to
that
create that. So I'll just delete this since we don't need it. I'll just delete it since we don't need it. So like I was saying, I started by retrieving or getting the brand identities. Then I created um I created the typographic layout. Then the next thing is your button component, and this is going to lead us into talking about components. All right. So in your design journey, there's a lot more that you are still going to learn based on experience, right? But right now, one thing I want to show you is what they call components. And what are components? Components are basically reusable elements, just like in web development, right? We talk about functions. Functions are reusable blocks of code, right? So the same thing with design. Components are reusable elements. So you create more like a blueprint of it. If you remember, uh, for instance, all these industries where they manufacture plastics and other things, they have like, I don't know what they call that thing, but they have like that blueprint where that they use to create every other item. For instance, if they want to create a cup now, they will mold something where they are pouring that plastic inside. When they pour it inside, it will form the shape of that container that they created. So they are using that to create plenty of that same element, right? So that is basically what a component is. And where do components come into your code? For instance, you want to have, since we don't have, for now, we are skipping low fidelity, we don't have anything here. Let's just rename it as our, since it's not programming, let me not call it soundbox. Let me call it playground. Okay, so let's say this is our playground where we are going to be practicing stuff. All right, so let's say we create a frame, a custom frame that is like maybe a custom frame like this. I want to create a card frame like this. All right, good. You guys have not learned of auto layout yet, right? But auto layout is something that is very, 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 very important. We'll also teach you about that. It actually helps you arrange your work very neatly. Okay, let me say I want to pick maybe let me pick one of our images here and use. I want to pick an image from here. Um, let's say I want to pick this image. I copy it and then I come to our playground. I paste it. I want to have something like this, and then I want to uh hold shift and drag. All right, I want to hold shift and drag. Then I want to drag normally like this because uh I'm actually looking for a rectangular shape. So maybe this guy is a component. Let me detach the instance so that it becomes a normal. Yeah. And then let's see. Okay, yeah. So normally when you have an image, you first of all be able to resize that image by cropping and also with your width and height, right? But the reality of this type of images is that if I reduce my height to 100, it will cut his head out, you understand? Because the aspect ratio of that image, it was actually a square. So let me just crop it. So let me crop it like this so that I get like kind of like a rectangular stuff. Then I click on enter. So it gives me this. So with this, I can hold shift and extend like this. Extend like this. So I'm going to have something like this. Are you getting me now? So maybe I have something like this. I want to increase this corner radius here to maybe 50. Too much. 10. Then this card as well, I probably want to give it 10 or even 5. All right. So it looks like this. Then here I want to write something. Maybe maybe his name is Ralph. I can see Ralph. Daniel. Okay, that text is too large. So when you have a text style working on something, but you want to change it, if you don't have another style guide here, this particular icon here is for you to detach that style so that you can do the normal editing. So I will just detach it here. So it comes like this and I can do the normal editing. I can decide to reduce the text size to maybe 36, to even too much, 24. And then I want the stuff to not be bold, uh maybe medium, right? And then I can just put this here. Are you getting me now? Okay. So if I have that, maybe I may want him to be a shade. Okay, I think I have color style. So then select color dark. That will not be very, very black, right? And then this guy can still be 20, a bit smaller. So if I have something like this, I may want to write a small text that um, Raphael Dan is maybe a software engineer engineer at Microsoft. And this one now, maybe I want it to be, I don't have the complete Futura font right now. Let me just leave it at medium and set this one to 12. Mind you, on your own part, you should already have your text styles created. So let's say this guy is a software engineer at Microsoft. Reduce the text to maybe 8 or 10, and then the color should be this color. Just trying to do something. Then you now want to have a button, right? Then you have a button like this. Maybe you want that button you want to give that button a color. This is a frame. I just drew a frame here now. And I want to give it a feel of maybe that color dark, right? And also a corner radius of maybe 10, if it's not too much, 5. And maybe we want to have it like this, right? And then we want to have 2. Right now, we're not using auto layout, so let's just do it like this. And then this one's color should be this. All right. Okay. So right here, I want to write a text, maybe hire, for you to hire him. Make it 12. I want to hire him, or I'm duplicating now, or I want to what's the other thing I should be able to do now? I want to um
See his profile, maybe.
thank you. See profile, right? So you have something like this. Now where does so let's increase this guy down a bit. Yeah. Mm, So when you have a lot inside a frame, more like when you are moving them, you are moving the frame itself. So the frame is wrapping on all of them. Okay, let's say we have this guy now. This is a card. This is a very, very basic card. Are you seeing? Now, the concept of components, the concept of components is that in your design, most of the time, you might want to have another card with another person's details. So what you used to do normally is that you now duplicate it, Control D. Can you see this now? You now duplicate this, all right? Then change this person's picture. Maybe we take another person's picture here and let me say, let me pick this guy. No, let's not be like a bias. Let me pick this lady. Okay. Then I click on this image. I can just right click and do paste to replace that guy. But then we need to hold our shift and increase this lady's stuff, and then just increase it width-wise. You see it's copying her out. So well, like I said, let's ungroup this girl. Ungroup her. Okay, she's a component. Let's go and pick it again. I ungrouped her. Playground. Paste her. Paste her. I want to go to the image here. This is the image. Okay. So I want to remove her. It's gone out again. That's a very rigid. That's a very rigid component. Let me uh, even if I ungroup here, it also goes. Oh, okay. Let me take somebody else. That's a component set. Let me take somebody else that has not pixelated. Let's take this lady. Let me check if doesn't do the same. Copy. Let's try it. Image pasted. And then I want to group. Okay, successfully scale up. Our own is not our image is already like a rectangle. So we just need 10. We also give it to her 10. Can you guys see? This is we have created it's the same component pattern, but we didn't do it the right way. Let's say this lady is now maybe Ravish. I don't know where that name is coming from. Well, maybe Ravish, and then maybe she's a product designer at Top. And then you can also hire and see profile. Now you did these two cards manually. Are you getting me? You did it manually. However, the concept of components is that if you now want to use this guy, maybe you are in a design, you want to use this guy, you'll be copying and pasting every time. What does component does? Component says if I create this guy, if I just create this guy, look at this now. I just copied this guy out now so that I don't have to recreate it from scratch. This is this guy. All we just need to do is we just make this guy a component. So I can come here, up here, you see create component, or you can just right click and you see create component here. So once I click create component, it has become a blueprint for the others. It has become a blueprint for the others. All I just need to do is if I want to create another one from him now, I just need to click on this plus. Now that creating another one from it now is what they call variant. That's when they say variations. When we say in the human race, we have variations. What are our variations? We have the black, we have the white. But all of us have two ears. All of us have two legs, right? But some people are the blacks, some people are the whites. You understand? That's just the variations. That's the concept of variant. So a component existing in different forms. In programming, it's like it's called polymorphism, existence in different forms, the same objects existing in different forms. So now, if I want to add, I just click on plus. Look at what it did. Can you see that plus now? This plus I clicked, let me go back, Ctrl Z. I clicked on this frame, which I have already, let me go back again. When it was normal frame, this is normal frame now. I click on the frame and then I can decide to click here, create component. It created that guy, makes that guy a component. The next thing, if I click on plus now, it creates another instance of that component. I get it creates another instance of that component. If I click on this frame now again and click on plus again, it creates a third one. What happens is that we can now decide to, let me click on this frame, right? Please and please permit me. I know I've not taught you auto layout, but putting them like this, please. Or auto layout is very interesting. So I just represented them like this, right? By adding auto layout to it. Let me go back. It's not wrong thing if you know about auto layout. If you can grab it now. Like I clicked on this guy. Auto layout teaches us the concept of grid representation. So as I click on this guy now, I added auto layout. The auto layout, let me remove the auto layout. Now I click on it. I came here and I add arrows help you determine the direction. So this one is vertical layout, horizontal layout. For instance, if I click horizontal, so it is looking like that. If I want to wrap them now, I just click on wrap. When I click on wrap, what I need to do is I need to reduce the width of that guy. So once I reduce the width, look at it, it wraps it down. It wraps it down like so. So if in a case where I add another, I keep adding another guy, it will keep wrapping them. It will keep wrapping them. Look at, I click on this guy, I add another plus, it adds another variant of that. This is the original. So if I click on this guy and add another one, that auto layout still keeps wrapping them. You can see how it looks like now, how your catalogs show on an e-commerce platform or even an e-learning platform, just like what we are trying to create. Let me confirm that you guys are with me. Please, are you guys with me?
Yes, we are with you.
Please, in case you are not understanding any part, you just notice you are not, just let me know so that I will not go far before coming back again. Now, after you have created your variant, so let me go back to where we had just two. So let me just delete all these other ones. Delete. So we had just two variants. My internet connection is unstable. Why? Now, and I remember how I created these two variants. So this particular guy now, I can now label Ravish, right? Who is a product designer with doctor. So the reason why I'm showing you this is it's going to ease our work when we start designing that landing page. And then, of course, all of them has this particular method of hire and then see profile. The buttons, those two buttons will show on all of them. So this is just like you have created a blueprint that you are using to create different instances of that blueprint. It's just like a class in programming where you create other instances of that class. So this is like a blueprint. You're creating other instances from this guy. So if you want to create a third person now, you just need to click on this frame here, and as you can see, you can add plus to add another guy. It still creates this original instance that you can change to something else. Are you getting me now? So I don't know if we can get another image for clearer understanding. And I'll probably carry this man and then come to our playground, and then I can easily click here, right click, paste to replace, and then I can paste to replace. I can you hold shift and scale it in its original ratio so that I don't lose that ratio. Then I give it its own corner radius of what, 10. Now I'm not even using auto layout inside of here yet. Detach instance, please. On group, hope you not disappear. And 10. So we have it also like them. So maybe this is let me use the name of my UI UX guy on YouTube. Let me use Punit Chala. I love that guy. I follow him a lot. Punit Chala, let's say, is a UI UX instructor. Yeah, yes, instructor. So you have this like this. So you can see that from one component, this was a very, very hard way to do it. But from one component you have created, you didn't have to start doing, you have created 3 different instances, right? Now, this is not, this is just your blueprint. See your blueprint. This is not what you are going to design frame. Let's say this is our now. Now, for you to be able to design frame, for you to be able to use this component, you can either just, once you just come to resources, when I click on resources, all my components will be showing. Look at my components created inside my playground. If I click on it, look at the components here. This is the component we have created. I can easily drag it and drop it here. I just used that component now. I just used that component. Now you can see it. If this guy, let me just change the color of that guy so that you can, let's say it's blue. You can see that I just used this component now. I just use this component now. I can click here and change this component to, yeah, I can, once I click here, you can see it has come here. I can change this component to variant 2. It changes. I can change it to variant 3. It changes. So instead of going over to start copying and pasting, you just change them. Variant 2, default. Now, for in a case whereby you have plenty variants, you are actually advised to name them. You are actually advised to name them, all right? So let me show you how you can name your variant. So if I come here, remember this is our first guy. So they already showed it as default. Are you getting this? They've showed it as default, right? So first of all, you can name the property to say, you can call the property um let me say talent. We're no longer doing talent, but let me just say talent since it looks like that. Talent. Then the first one, which is default, we can give him his name, Ralph what? Ralph Daniel. Ralph Daniel. The second one, you see talent is replicating again. So this one is Mabel Ravish. Mabel Ravish. And then this one is Punit Chawla, my guy. Punit Chawla. Are you guys seeing now? So you can see that you have given them names. You have given them names. So it is easy. I can come here now. Now that I have these variants, I can decide to duplicate it. Control D, right? I've duplicated that guy. This is another one now. You see, very easy. But instead of me going to change images every time, I can just change from Raphael to what? maybe ravish, or change from maybe ravish to what? Initial. Can you see the use of components and variants now? So this is how you use your components and your variants. Please, I don't know if you guys understand what I've just explained. Now, let me know if you understand what I just explained, because I want to now explain it in terms of buttons now, so that it will be easy for us when we just kick off our design. Please, if you understood the concept of components as I just explained it now, please just say yes in the chat box so that I'll continue. And if you have a question, you can as well ask. Okay, Diane, did you understand it? It's looking complex, right? You might need to come and watch the video again. All right. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so talking about videos, where does your components and variant come in? Talking about just a video talking about buttons. All right. For instance, when you want to create a button now, I can create a button. Like I said, I've not really taught you guys auto layout, but let me use this opportunity to be talking about it a little. If I click on T on my keyboard, or I come here to click on the text tool, I click here, and then I want to create a button called maybe register, right? Register. So that seems to be too small. So let me just increase the font size to 50 so we can see it. So I want to create a button called register. So this is my button. This is my text called register. All right. Okay. Using Auto, all I just need to do is I need to first of all frame it. Frame it. So I do what? Frame selection. So once I have framed this selection, I can easily add an auto layout to it. So I click on add auto layout. Auto layout, like I said, basically helps you to achieve some easy arrangement, and it puts your work together again. So I just added auto layout to it, and on that auto layout, I want to give my inner vertical padding and my horizontal padding for that button, right? So my vertical padding, that is padding, is inner spacing, right? So I just want to say maybe this should be 10. Let's see. Make it 15. I don't know if that will be too big. Then my horizontal spacing should also be 10. 10 or maybe 15. Okay, let me just make them 20, 20. 20. So we have this frame like this already on auto layout. Then what we want to do is we want to give that guy a fill now. So you separate we just use auto layer. So if I click on fill, you see it has added the background to it. And I want that background to actually be my secondary color. And then I want my text to actually be my primary white. And I have this. I don't know if I should just use Montserrat here, please, for your better understanding. So that I can get a regular or this medium. Medium is okay, but then this should be the text size should not be 40. So take a look at this created. This is like an upcoming button. When I click on this, I can make the give corner maybe 20. and then you can see that this is a register button created. However, when you are using websites, you see that sometimes when you hover on a button, the feel of the button changes
Please, your voice is
when the
breaking. I can't hear you
button
properly.
is not active and all that. How do you create that? I create that you. Yeah, I just noticed it. I noticed it. Has it been breaking for a long time?
Yes, yes,
Can you hear me now?
yes, I can. It's properly
Okay.
coming out now, but you've been skipping for a while now.
For a very long time, since I started talking about the buttons.
Yes, I would say yes. I would say yes.
Okay, so I just want to get a go back again. Let me let me just start from this. I have an I like my icons rounded, so let me just keep it. So this particular again. So just like that. Okay. So I have this icon. I have this icon. Let me just fill the icon with some color. Let me fill the icon with white and then turn off the stroke. So I have this button. I also now write a text called register, and I want that register to be maybe 20 in terms of font size. So what I want to do now is this guy and this guy, I'm going to group them together, hold them together, and add auto layout on them. So they become one, become one. I see it. They become one by adding that auto layout. Let me go back again to that process. I want to create a button that has initially we created a button that doesn't have an icon in front of it. Now I want to create a button that has an icon in front of it. So this is an icon, and this is a text in front of it, right? So the text also should actually be white, right? Now you will not be able to see that, but okay,
Your
yeah.
network
So
is
I
still
click on
breaking
it and
now.
I hold shift and click on the text. The next thing I want to bring them together, I click on auto layout. Auto layout brings them together. You can see it, but there's horizontal gap here. It's called a gap, right? So very interesting right now. My router, I just it's working properly right now. But can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, but over
Yes,
time
now
your
it's
network is
better,
broken.
but it keeps breaking. I don't know why.
Okay, is it? But can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, yes, now it's
Yes,
very clear.
yes, I can.
Okay, see what's going to happen. The moment I start to break, just immediately tell me so that I would know, so that we don't miss a lot out.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so so what I want to do is I've taught you components using cards, right? I wanted to show, right? So for your buttons, for you to create a button in Figma, right? For instance, when I'm talking of buttons, I'm talking of buttons like this. Look at your button components. Can you see buttons like this? Can you see them now? buttons like this. For you to be able to create buttons like this, you also need to create them using your components and variable, because you have hovered when the button is enabled, when the button is over, when the button is uh, disabled, you get like that. So we want to create that type of stuff now. So what I did was that I showed you guys how to use my remember how to use huge icons plugin. Did you guys use the huge icons plugin?
No, sir.
Oh, you guys should. Well, what icon did you use?
I used Unsplash.
Oh, you use Unsplash to get your icons.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay,
You
the
would
icon
really
is
enjoy
Iconify.
Iconify. Okay, you can use Iconify as well. So whichever way you're able to get uh icon, right? I just showed you how to use. Let me just take this guy back. Let me remove the auto layout and group it. Okay, so let me show you how I went about it. First of all, this is my icon that I got, right? And then this is my text that will be the text inside that button. I brought them together like this. Then I clicked on this one. I hold on shift on my keyboard, and then I also clicked on this one. The both of them now are on the same line. So I clicked on auto layouts. It brought them together, and then which is 6 pixels. So we can decide to leave it at 6 or make it 5, right? So we have that guy created. The next thing we want to do, if you look at this side of your auto layout, you see that it shows the positioning, the alignment of those elements, right? So now it's aligning to the top left. So we want them to align to left, but left center, so that they are both on the same center, right? So we want to now give it inner padding and horizontal padding. You may not understand this very well now, but as time goes on, you'll be getting to understand it better. But I just decided to say it here. So I can give it vertical padding of 20 and horizontal padding of 20. What would that give us? It gives us something like this, which seemed to be too big. It seemed to be too big, right? Look at how the whole button looks now. It seems to be too big. So we are going to reduce that. But before we reduce that, let's give this frame a background color. So we come here and add plus to this field, or rather select a style and give it this our secondary blue. You can see how that guy comes now, right? But instead of us going through all the normal process, we click on this frame and we reduce this guy back to 10 and reduce this one to 10. You can see how it looks now, right? So right now we can now decide to give it a corner radius of maybe 20, or okay, we can use 20 or 10, depending on the kind of button you want to create. So you can see that we've created a button, and the button is the register very easily, right? But then you want to have different states. Maybe this state is the uh the default state. You can see when I you see what uh, you see what
So your voice is breaking again.
um
The
deleting is
network is
reducing the
breaking.
size by default. That's what auto layout does for you. So button, then I create a component from it. I click on this create component. it made this button a component. Can you see that? So this particular one, now maybe we want this variant to be the over when the button is over. So what do we want it to look like? We want the background when it is over. We want the background to be this. All of you know. Can you hear me now? Please, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, it's clear now.
It's clear now. Okay, I just switched to my router. It's Airtel, so I'm always scared of Airtel, but since MTN decided to start shaking today, let me go to Airtel for rescue. Okay, so did you get it up to this point where I am right now?
Yes, sir.
Raphael, did you get it up to this point as well? And also Diane.
Yes, I did, but your voice is breaking seriously
But is
at
it
interval.
but is it but is it still breaking now?
No, it's not
It won't
at the
break
moment.
again. It won't break again. I've changed the internet.
Okay.
I've changed the internet, it won't break again. Okay, let's continue now. So we have created a variant of this button, and right now we want to determine the state. The state now is the hover state. We want to determine the look of that button during the hover state. Are you getting me now? I don't know if I have any websites in my head right now that have a hover state on the button, but because of our time, we still have a lot to do. So if I click on this, I want to change the background because it is on overstate. I want to change the background now to this secondary blue with opacity of, I think, 10 or so. Right. So let me click that. You can see the background of the button changes. Then I want the primary color to now be what? The secondary blue itself. So when I hover on this button, I want it to look like this. Are you getting me now? This is your components, your variant for this button component. So I want to add another variant, and this time around, I want to create the disabled disabled state. When they say a button is disabled, that means that the button is, if you click the button, it will not perform any function at that point in time. Are you getting me now? So if I click on this, that means I want the background to be gray when it is disabled. I don't think I have a gray color style. So let me just detach this guy and select it manually. Let me just take it here. Now, you know how you see a button when the button is disabled, it looks like this. It shows you that it is on a gray state. It cannot be clicked. See that like this. So like this. And then this white, I want it to be maybe, I don't know if color dark, something like this. So uh you can see the variants and then the variant of this button component. Just like I said, when you click on this, we should be able to now name it what properly. So we want to call this guy what? Button, right? That's the property we want to call it button. And then for the button, what do we want to have? This one should be what? Button, this one should be what? Uh let's say, let me just say, I don't want to say active, but okay, let's just use active. Then this one is over, over, and then this one is what? Disabled. And you see that now. Now, when you click on, when you want to use this, you use it the same way you use the other guy. Let's come back into our design work now. Now, we probably want to use a button here now, right? So let's maybe just have kind of like something like this here. Probably a white, like this. And then we want to use our button to show our button here, right? So what do we do? We click on resources here. You see your components, the one inside of playground where we are currently, and you can see the button component has also appeared here. All we just need to do, you can click on it or you drag it inside. You can see the button has arrived here. So you have your button here. You can see. So you can change the state of the button to hovered. You can see how it looks when it is hovered. Can you see? And then you can see how it looks when it is disabled. Can you see, guys? Can you see that now? So we can take it back to what? Active. That's the usage of the button. Then some more, some more. There's something we call your boolean, this thing, your boolean conditions. If I click on this, all the text inside of this variant now, if you come here, you're going to see something. You see layer, and then you see this Boolean property here. Remember when we were doing our user flow, I showed you that shape represents Boolean where there's a true or false, where there's a true or false, where we said have an account, yes or no. So we can actually set a Boolean property when you click on this, and then you said, okay, this is the name you set is show layers, right? Okay, show layers. Maybe I want to say show text, right? Then I set it to can be true or false. So I set it to true. Then I click on what? Create property. So you create a boolean on that guy. Then also on the icons, you can decide to select all of them and also create uh boolean for them, right? So there's show text there, so you can create another one which is show icons, which you set it also to true, create property there. So what does that do to your component and variant? Now, in using it, that thing we have set now, when we come here, one thing about this component is that anything you change inside the blueprint here, anything you change inside the blueprint here will also affect wherever you have used them. For instance, anything we change inside of here now, it will affect wherever you have used them. If I change this guy now from C profile to uh, view profile, can you see that? Can you see? Wherever I use this particular variant, I change this to view profile. If you see where we used it here, you're going to see that it has changed to what? View profile automatically. So that's how. But if you are using this one normally creating, if you change anything here, you go and look for everywhere that this card exists and change it again. So if we change this one to I think is it Pony that we have used. If we change this Ponytrala from UIS instructor now to um, front end web developer, we have updated that variant. So what you see here is that there's also changed here to what front end web developer. So that's why components and variants are very important. Now, for that Boolean property we just created, look at this button now. Look at this button now that we have used here. Let's say, let me duplicate this button. Let me duplicate this button and duplicate this one and duplicate it as well. So let me be on the same line. So okay. So maybe I want this one to display. Maybe I want this one to display the hovered state, and I want this one to display the disabled state. You can see how I'm changing them. But however, based on that Boolean stuff we created, if we click on this, we can decide to turn off or turn on the text or icons. So when you click on show off show text, what happens? You see that the text goes out. Are you seeing now? Representation on some websites, you see that there are times where some buttons are just an icon, not no text in front of them. That's how you get it. You can see that the text has gone out of there. So that is that is the use of that Boolean property there. So if I click on this again and I turn on the text comes back. If I turn on the text for this one too, if I turn, for instance, maybe let me turn off icons for this one now. Icon goes, it's just the button that remains, just the text that remains. If I turn on the icons, it comes back. If I turn off text here, you see, it goes. And then if you turn off icons too, the both things becomes empty. So if you turn on icons, you can see. If you turn on text, it comes out. Please, is that clear to us? If it's clear to you, let me see your yes in the comment box. So if I duplicate these guys, right, and I want to turn off all their text, you can see how we've created these buttons. All right. Okay. So if that is clear to us, then that means this is we are good enough. Now, what is making all this happen is the fact that you use your auto layout. Are you getting me? It's the fact that you use your auto layout. And what's the concept of your auto layout again? Your auto layout, in fact, as an assignment, everybody study on auto layout. That's an assignment I'm giving already now. Everybody should study, look for resources on auto layout, study on auto layout very, very well, right? Auto layout helps you to be able to do a lot of things. If I have a button, if I have a button, let me say I enter a text. Maybe this is a product design, right? And I have product design, and then for instance, I want to frame it, frame selection, and then I add auto layout to it. For you to add auto layout to a single element, you need to frame it. So I add auto layout to it, and then I add some vertical and horizontal padding to it, maybe 10, 10, right? And then I have something like this, and then I just give it a background feel of this, and then I curve it by 5, the edges. So I have something like this. Are you getting me? Auto layout is saying I can do this. I can click on this, and probably I duplicate it. Now, me duplicating it, they are not on auto layout right now. Their individual elements are on auto layout, but both of them are not on auto layout. So I hold shift and hold the two of them together, and I click on plus to add auto layout to them. Now, having add auto layout has grouped them together. The spacing between them now is 40. That's what is here. You can change it to 20, depending on whatever you want. Are you getting me now? You can also decide to give them inner horizontal and vertical padding. You can decide to represent them vertical layout or horizontal layout. If I click vertical, you see it comes down. If I click horizontal, it goes like this. This is what you use to achieve your responsive design. You know, there are cards that on web, on desktop, they look like this. But on mobile, they have to come down like this. And then most of the time, this wrap was introduced just, I think, in the config, that's the Figma conference of, I think, last year, ending, was, like ending last year. It was May. Yeah, it was May last year. Now, what does this wrap do? I can change this guy. Now, this one is not a component though. I can change this guy to uh web guy. Can you see what's happening? What's happening now is that as I'm editing the text, I don't have to start adjusting the frame behind it. It is taking the what? It's taking the shape of its container. I get it. It's taking the shape of its container. So this frame that is wrapping them now, right? If I click on this guy inside of it and I duplicate, it creates another one in front of it. If I want to use wrap is saying that you must have a fixed width for your frame so that every other thing that crosses the width falls down, right? And for your wrap to work, you must clip content. So you have to activate this clip content. Are you getting me now? Then I click on what? Wrap. you see it comes down. So if I keep adding, once it gets to that boundary, it keeps coming down. Do you get? So this is your auto layout. Now for your auto layout, you can have what you call fixed width. You can have your hog width. You understand? You can have your fill width. When you talk about width, you're talking about the length from here to here. Are you getting me now? So for this guy now, it is currently on what? This is the width and this is the height. Both the width and the height are on what? Hog. What is hog? Hog is saying gum your body to the inner content. Are you getting me now? To the inner content. If I change this to fixed width, I just change it to fixed width. If I increase the width now, the width is increasing. You can see that the text inside is staying on its own in the center because this guy, look at where it is here. Center alignment. Center alignment. If I change the alignment to left alignment, it will go here. If I change it to top, it will go up. So center, let it be here like this. You can see because we have set it to fixed width, the width is not taking cognizance of the content inside. So if I change it to what's it called now? Hog. You see, it will go back to what? To hog the content. Are you getting me now? And if I change it to what? Fill container. That means this is the containing element, the guy wrapping him. This frame is the one wrapping him. So it will always fill the container. So if I'm increasing this frame now, see, it will see, it's actually even creating another guy. See, he's using them to fill the container. Can you see? It's filling the container because this frame now is the container for all of them. So it is when you are using container like that you use that fill. So the container itself is on fixed width. Are you getting now? So I click on this guy and set it back to what? Hog content. I will encourage you to read more on auto layouts in this week. While you study this week, I'll encourage you to read more on auto layout. All right. Okay. Having looked at that, can we now move into our design for today? If you're ready for us to move in, just say yes in the comment box so that we can move into our design for today. I don't know, Charity, if there's anything you want to add on auto layout and component variants, then you can also add. Charity?
Okay, so far you have said almost everything about component and variants, and then auto layouts. Please, the trick about auto layout is you have to keep practicing. Like, it's not as easy as it's looking right now. Like, you have to do it over and over and over again. Just like component is one easy part of organizing your work, variant also, but the auto layout is our main form of concern right now. You have to keep learning and learning, make those mistakes. Sometimes you would want to readjust and then the thing is going downwards and all of that. So with time, it's just like your style guide. When you initially want to learn style guide, it will give you tough time. But when you get used to it, it becomes a norm for you. So the same thing with auto layout. I don't want to do further explanation on auto layout so that we don't get confused, right? So like he said, do that as your assignment, and then if there is any confusion, we can explain further. But for now, I would advise that everybody tries it out because that's the perfect way for your work to get arranged or for your work to be neatly placed. You need to learn the trick of auto layout. So I think from my end, that's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Like Charity has said, practice makes perfect. All these things they actually have principles that makes them work. The reality is that they might look like a lot of problem for you until you finally hack that principle. If you can hack that principle, it's going to be like baby play for you. So for the auto layout, there is the principle of auto layout. You just need to be able to understand grid system. Understand either you understand grid system or you understand flex box system. Are you getting me now? So it's very easy for you to understand flex box system. Currently, this is like a grid system. Are you getting that? So please, what you need to do, and then another thing a lot of people have issues with in auto layout is this fixed org and fill. You understand? So please, this week, practice variant component auto layout. All right, so right now we're going to be moving straight into the second part of the class, which is designing what we have on ground. And right now, I want to believe that everyone in this class should be able to design this create an account page. Please let me get a feedback from you. Everyone in this class should be able to design this create an account page. This page, everyone should be able to design this page. This should not be a problem for us right now. Let me get
Yes, you can
feedback
design
on
the page,
that.
but I'm asking, is it that the page should be exactly like this or creating something like this?
You can decide to create something like this, but this is what I used to advise people from that are starting. Always try to first of all do exactly what you are seeing first, because one of the things about what you are seeing exactly is that the person must have followed principles. I get the person must have followed principles, and that is why it maybe came out like that. You understand? So the most important, like in your assignment, one of the things I noticed, a lot of you didn't really pay attention to alignment principle. You understand? And remember, the reason why we taught all that at the beginning of this course, your colors, you know, your contrast. If you put a color on top of white that I cannot read, that's already a poor contrast. If one of your button is going to the right and the other one is going to the left, that's a poor alignment. You understand? They also talk about balance. If you see the representation of the images here, they are actually represented, though they are not aligned, but they are arranged in a way that they are trying to achieve balance, and they are even trying to balance this guy as well. So when you see people's design, somehow you realize that they actually try to follow design principles. So one of the things I will be passing these designs to the front end students so that they can also lay their hands on it and work on it. So we will not be going over the user registration screens again. However, as an assignment, you people will need to replicate all the designs exactly the way they are, like this. In your own file. I'll give you. I think everyone on the Maxify on this bootcamp project should have access to this file. I created a new file called Maxify Bootcamp e-learning platform. So that's different from the e-commerce. So this one is the e-learning. So I would like you to come on this platform here, and you must replicate exactly the way it is looking. You are free to carry all your icons. If you need all these icons, you can carry them from here, right? You can carry them from here. You can carry all the assets and even the images, but I want it to come out exactly the way you are seeing it, like this. That's how I want you to. Mind you, this is an image, so I want you to carry it exactly the way it is looking. In the design system, you also see that details have been given also in the design systems. The images are also here for you. All right. So that being said, we will now, I will put out, there are many two screens here which I will complete. We can now easily put them in a section here. We can now easily put all these guys right here in a section. All right. So let's put them in their own section here. Then let me take this guy away from them. So they are all right here in their section, which will now be the user registration screen. So usually when you are doing some live projects, once you are done with some modules, all you just do is there's this icon here, you mark it as ready for dev. Ready for dev means you have finished this project and you have finished this module and the developers can start working on it. So we are going to mark it as ready for dev. Like I said, I will complete the remaining 2 screens here. That is the screens from here. Where are they now? This ones, these other two. This other two, the one for, I'll just carry this file and edit it there. This and reset code and reset password. I'm gonna implement it there. So because of that, let me just do Control D. Bring this down. Another one again. Oh, another one again. Should be done. So our section should cover all of them. The section should cover all of them, but I'm going to come and adjust this too. Okay, so that covers this section. This section is the user registration screens. So for our today class, we are going to be creating another section, which is the landing page, where we are going to create the landing page. First of all, let me bring this guy inside of here. All right, so comes inside of here, can be inside of here like this, and then we can name it what? Landing page. All right, so this is what we'll be looking at, and we'll be getting our assets from here to create our own so that we'll not spend so much time. For these 2 screens, I want to maybe, so that they will not be so white, just want to okay, the best thing to do is actually to tone the page. The page should go to white, then my section should come to be toned down a little bit so that I can see the contrast between those guys. Okay, so we have this like this, right? Okay, so with this now, we want to recreate this guy here, right here. We want to recreate this guy right here. Okay, so what we are going to do in this class, first thing is that we are going to create our own section, which is going to be our class section. So we create this section where we can play around trying to create this in class. So this is what they call, I can call it class practice. Okay, so let me also use if I press I on my keyboard, I'm able to pick a color from the color dropper here, color picker here. I use the color picker to pick this color now, so that this guy can also be the same color as this guy. Now, what's the very first thing that we have here? The very first thing we are going to do, let me ask a question. For us to start designing, what's the very first thing we need to do after creating our section?
Create a frame. You create a frame.
Excellent. Very excellent. You create a frame. So we're going to create a frame right now. So we click on frame, and then maybe we want to pick which of the frame. Maybe we want to pick desktop. So we click on desktop, and then we bring it right inside of what? Right inside of here. Okay, so we have desktop, right? Okay, so we have our desktop here. Then we rename it to maybe landing page, right? So when we come here, what's the first thing that we see here? The first thing that we see here is a notification bar with a height of what? 40 pixels. You can see the height here, the height of 40 pixels, right? And it fills the entire width of that desktop, which is 1440, and it has some content inside of it, right? But with our knowledge of with our knowledge of auto layout, we want to use auto layout to create that now. So the very first thing we are creating is this box and then this text, 5% discount on all courses for the month of April. So let's go like this. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. I come here. I don't have the complete Futura font, so please let's just manage Montserrat for now, please. But we are supposed to use Futura because that's the typography we decided to use for this project. So first of all, there's a box. That box can either be a rectangle and it's a white box. So because you are using auto layout, you will not bother about using a frame for now. So I want to create that small white box. I hold my shift and create a small box, and that box color is white. So this is the box, and I want to select, I've already created my color style, so white. And then the next thing is a text in front of it. So I write the text in front of it. The text is what? 5% discount on all courses in the month of April. I remember that again. In the month of April. And that text was also white, so I can press I on my keyboard. I'm just showing you shortcut on how I do it. If not, you can come here, click on this, and then click on the eyedropper here, and then pick this white. So the both of them are white. Like I said to you now, the both of them will now make them auto layout. So we click auto layout, all right? And then for the auto layout, we want them to be aligned to center, which is left center. And then we want to reduce the gap in between them to be maybe 10. So we have that guy, which is an auto layout already. And then it is what? Remember, this positioning is very, very important. We are putting it on what? Left center. Left center means it will be aligning to the what? To the left. Are you getting now? So we have created that. Now, if you come back here, on the far left, on the far right here, you see 3 icons here: location, message, and phone call. Honestly, I don't even know why I put those icons there, but let's just copy those icons. I believe you all know how to get your icons, so let's just copy those icons. I copy those icons. And I also come here. I paste them here. Actually, they are already on auto layout, but let me remove the auto layout so that I can put them on auto layout for you to see. So right now they are all single icons. You can see them, single icons. So I'm going to select them, hold my shift and select the 3 of them, and then I click on what? Auto layout. Now that I've clicked on auto layout, I want to put them on. Now for these ones, I want to put them on right center. Now, right center. Let them be on right center. And then the spacing between them can be 10. All right, so we have that. Now, for this, that very first top bar at the top, these are the 2 contents. So we want to click this guy and click this guy and also set them on what? Auto layout. Can you see how auto layout works? The inner guys are auto layout. Now, one of the biggest challenges for beginners is that most of them, they find it really, really hard to interact with auto layout systems, right? So we have this inner guys auto layout, this inner guy auto layout. Then the both of them are now on what? Auto layout. Are you getting me now? Auto layout, right? Okay. So having done that, let's now okay. Okay. So now that we have done that, we can now bring this auto layout frame inside of here. It has entered inside of that guy now. So since it has entered inside of that guy now, we want to set their mother content to fixed width. So setting it on fixed width, we want the width to fill the whole landing page. So what we are doing is that, first of all, let's increase its vertical padding and horizontal padding a bit. So we say 5 and 5. 5 and 5 give us a height of this. So we also want to set it on a fixed height, which is what? 40, which the other guy had. So if the height is 40, then we want to set it on center. All of them should be on center, right? And then since the width of this container is fixed, we can drag it like so. Don't worry, just watch me. We can drag this guy to the end here, and drag this one also to the end. Yeah, are you getting me now? Then we can use this our alignment tool to set it to align to the top of the frame. So I align top, I click that. So it is now here at the top. But calm down. The next thing we need to do is that we need to give it a background color, which is the fill. So we'll set our normal fill, which is secondary blue. You can see that. However, the elements here inside of it, the elements inside of it here are actually not aligned properly, because this one is actually aligned there, but this one is actually also supposed to align to the end there. Are you getting me now? Okay. So when you click on this, what we now need to do is that we now need to set this guy to hug content. So when we set it to hug content, it is now hugging the content. You can see it's now hugging the content. So if it's hugging the content, we can drag the content, drag it back. We can drag that guy back. Or rather, it's hugging content here now. When it is hugging content here, we now need to increase the gap in between it. That's the concept of Flexbox. We now need to increase the gap in between it. So increasing the gap in between it, you just come here, zoom. See this guy here is the gap between it. Just press it, hold it down, and you keep sliding to increase it. Or you can come here to increase it manually here. I get it. So you see that as we are increasing it, because it is hugging the content, as we are increasing it, what is happening is actually this one is going to the right and this one is maintaining the left. So we continue. Let's say we increase it to 800. We keep on increasing it. I like doing it here. Let me just do it here so that I'll get that guy. Zoom out a bit. So I keep increasing my guy there. I just have a little stuff left there. So we are targeting 1440. So I can easily even just type my 1440 here, enter, and it fills it. Can you see that? Now we have been able to achieve this guy. We have been able to achieve that first guy. I know it is looking really, really, really complex right now. It is, right? We're not done with that guy yet. It is. It's looking complex, right? Let me hear from you. Is it looking complex, Jimmy? Raphael? It shouldn't be looking complex now.
It's kind of complex, so it's kind of complex.
Jimmy, is it complex?
Not really. I think it's just
not really, right?
That I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
That's what I want to hear. It's not complex. It's just that auto layout. Once you just study on that auto layout, you understand, and you first of all study on that auto layout, then you come back and watch the class video, then you understand perfectly what I've been doing. So since you already know, you have already adjusted this like so. Now, if you look at this one, on this one, you will see that there is some space here. And here is called padding. So we add that to this mother frame here. And how do you add that? Initially, you give them, it is what they call horizontal padding now. So you just need to increase the horizontal padding, maybe give it 20. 20. Okay, or maybe make it 50. 50 comes, and then what you notice is that this guy, because he's a fixed width, this spacing we gave it is making it to adjust like somehow. So we need to set it to what? Auto. So I set it to auto. Once you set the space to auto, you see that it just auto spaces inside. That's what they call in web design. It's called justify content of space between when you use display flex. So it will space it automatically by itself. So with that, you have been able to get that first bar there. Are you getting now? So you have gotten that guy. The next guy you want to get now is the header. This is the header. This is the header right here. The header consists of component upon component, component upon component. Are you getting me now? The very first component here is the logo component. I want to see how we can be able to achieve this header very, very sharp. All right. So we need, first of all, we need this. I already even created that component. Look at the header component here. Right, so we have two variants of that component. The very first time when the person comes, it shows him sign up and log in. But for a user who is already signed in, the person can see that the person's icon is showing there. All right, so we need to create a component for that header. All right, so first of all, what do we need? We need the logo, and then we need these navigations. Okay, so let me click on let me carry the logo, copy the logo, come back here. And I went to my asset to copy that logo. So I want to have logo, categories, teach, contact, about us, right? Okay, so I come here, just like what I'll be doing with auto layout. I paste that logo. And of course, I must have to reduce. I pressed K on my keyboard. I'm reducing that logo. Maybe want to use a width of maybe 150. Try. That is, let's see, this should be able to work. I think this will not be bad like this. Okay, that will not be bad like that. That will not be bad like that. That will not be bad like that. So we have this logo. You are seeing how we are using the details of our design system now. So after that logo, there are navigations. The first navigation there is, let's bring this logo out. We are still creating our component. We are going to create it like a component. So we have this guy first, right? We have this guy first. Let's set auto layout on it and leave it there first. Then the next thing we want to have is we have the first navigation is your what? Categories with this icon. I just need to take this icon from here. If I can, copy this particular chevron icon. So categories with this icon, right? Okay. Come back to our design file here, our design section here. So I want to write categories. I want to write T, click on T, and then no, I'm using Montserrat. They have a very strong this thing. If I say category, category, but I don't want it bold. I want it medium, and then I want it not pure black. I have a color dark here, which is a shade of black. You guys, all of you have access to this file, so you can see the color style in there. Then that icon I picked, I want to paste it. I need this icon here. I need this icon here, right? So first of all, let's even take the same color of the icon. So I press I on my keyboard and pick the color of this icon. So they are both the same color. Just the way we created the button with icon, we're also going to use auto layout to create this guy. So we select this guy, also select this one, and hit your auto layout. So you have your auto layout there, but you also need something. You need more like a variant of it, because if you have this what's it called, if you have this um chevron icon, that means there's a drop down. That means there's a drop down. All right. So for that drop down, you want to create that too. So if you look at this one has a drop down. Let me reveal it. If I click on, yeah, if I look at it now, if I change it here, sub open, you're going to see, look at the drop down. You can see the drop down now, right? So that means if you view this guy, you're going to see it show with the drop down. Let me view this guy. Maybe, you can see it. See how it's showing with the drop down. You can see it showing. It's a very complex component, because you notice that when you're even hovering on them, it's changing color. So it's quite a very complex component, right? So let's copy this guy to just have the info, the details there. So so let's come back. Now we have all those details text there. So here we want to create another component. So let's start by doing this. We come like this. We have it like this. Let's say that what we are actually doing right here is that we are trying to avoid typing all this. I get me now. So they actually used what they call your auto layout to actually create all this. So they typed all this text. I wish I can detach it now. Detach instance on group. You can see that it is auto layout. This is the text. These are the text they typed. So let's do it by ourselves now. These are the text they typed. You can see it. Each of them can be clicked. These are the typed text. All right. So we highlight all of them, and then we click on what? Auto layout to join them together. Next thing is you want to add a vertical padding of maybe 20, horizontal padding of maybe 20. All right. So you give it a feel of that white. Can you see that now? And then a corner radius of maybe 30 or 10, just to curve it a little bit. You can see that now. And then one thing you notice is that they gave it a little bit of shadow. So the drop shadow should just be X should go to 2, Y should go to 2, blur should go to maybe 10. Then this guy should be 10, and then this guy should not be very dark, a little bit like so. So just have a very light shadow underneath. You can see the shadow underneath now. So you've created this one. This one also give it auto layout vertical padding 20. This one also 20, and then you have that is too big. All right, so let's go 5. 5 is not bad. Horizontal padding of 20, vertical padding of 5. In web design, it's called padding inline and padding block. So we also want to give that guy a feel of white and also curve it to 10. So now we have not even started with the component. So we have this guy like this. I get it. So this guy and this guy, we hold shift and hold them together and create what? An auto layout with them. Right? Having done that, this guy can now be used to create a component. This guy cannot be used to create a component. So you make it a component, and you add another variant of that component. So you can see a component. So this time around, I want to add the auto layout, and so that it should go to the horizontal like this. I want it like this. Look at it now. Number one, we have just created a component. But on this component, the very first point is that this guy should be invisible first. Are you getting? This guy should be invisible first. So if I select this guy, I want to write a boolean stuff for it. So I click on this and I say drop down. This drop down. So drop down should be set to true, that this should be visible for now. So I create the property. I get in now. And then the same thing for this guy as well. It's also okay. Let me go back so that I like the both of them together and create that guy. So I like the both of them together. I like this one too. This one too. And then I create the boolean and I say what? Drop down should be true. That means it should be visible. I create it. I create it. Okay. So right now for this, we don't want that drop down to show. We don't want that drop down to show. So for it now, we're going to say in usage, let me say, okay, in usage, I want to come here. This is just a component, right? This is just a component for use. So in usage, I want to come to this empty place here and click my resources. Inside of my high fidelity, I already have this component, so I want to drag it here. So that's my component I just created. But however, I want to turn off the drop down for now. You can see that we now have this guy. Are you getting me? We now have this guy. We now have this guy. We now have this guy. This is a way to go about it. All right. So the thing is, you can now set on this one. Let me see if I use this guy now, if it will show me that. This one shows. Okay. All right, delete. So we can now set on this guy that, okay, if we've not taught you guys prototyping yet. Okay, so let me leave out prototyping for now. Oh, Jimmy. So when you do that, you now let's leave out prototyping for now, because I wanted to show you that when you click on it, then you should open up this guy. But right now we are going to, since we have created this guy, there's something hidden in this guy that people are not seeing. That is, we can always turn on the drop down and turn it off. So for now, let's leave it turned off. So let's bring this our component now that we have created. Let's carry it away from here, so I can cut it out of this page and take it to my design system and drop it here inside where I have said other components should be. So let me create space for it and paste. It's too big. It's too big. But without no fear, I can use my K to reduce the size. It doesn't change anything. Okay. I can keep it here. It's also one of the components we have created. You can see how we went about creating all those components. So these components now, we want to go ahead and use it here. We want to go ahead and look at how reducing the size there also reduces the size here. So the problem with components is a very, very funny thing. So now after this logo, we actually need this nav link. So let's increase the size of this nav link. I'm on my K. I hit K on my keyboard, so I'm able to do that in aspect ratio. So I have this. The second thing there is after category, we have the rest that are not drop downs. Teach, contact us, about us. Teach, contact us. Meanwhile, there is something here that we even forgot to put out. This thing here, we forgot to put it. But no problem. We're going to find a way to put that. It's not hard at all to put that. All right. So let's continue. We have teach, contact us, about us. So we're going to write those ones too. So right now, we don't need to write them from our fresh. We can just duplicate this guy. But because we don't want the instance working on this guy to work on them, we right click and detach the instance. So we detach it. So you have detached it from that component. So it's not working with that component now, it's just a frame. So we just edit this name to teach, and we don't need an icon there because it's not a drop down. You can see teach. So this guy now can give us teach, about us, and then we also have another one, contact us. However, instead of going all this way, anyways, we have already done it. I wanted us to just use the auto layout. Contact us. So we can now group this guy with this guy, with this guy, with this guy, and set them on what? Auto layout. And then from that auto layout, you can see that you can set them to align left, center. Then the space in between them, which is too much, we can reduce it to maybe 10 or even 0. All right, because when they are on that white now, when they are on this white now, they won't really, we don't need too much space on them. So if one frame is carrying all of them now, however, inside of this frame, this guy is a component which can still have this guy. Now, the problem we have is that when you now turn on this guy, you are seeing that what is happening, it is pushing these ones down. So how do you arrange that? When you click on this, you set it to align left top. So once you set it to top, it will always stick to the top. So even if this guy comes out, that guy will still be there. So let's turn it off, and then it comes back to normal. All right. It's actually interesting, but I wish we have the whole day to be able to cover all this. All right. So let's we now have our second component. This is our second element here. So we have this guy, and then we have the logo, which we should even reduce a bit for now. Reduce this guy like this. So we have this guy and this guy already done. We now have left some other things. What are the other things? We have a search bar, and then we have this login and sign up, and then this button here. It's a lot, but let's move. So for this search bar, in order for us not to stress, let's pick up the icon from here, and then the content is search anything, right? So let's come back here to create our search bar. We can easily just say, okay, to create our search bar, we can easily just say, use the text, which is the text says what? Please, let me use my Montserrat. The text says what? Search. Oh, not on my text too. Okay, search. Search what? Anything. Search anything. So we want to remove it from black and set it on medium, and it should be on maybe medium 12. And then the icon we copied, which is in our clipboard, let's paste it and also bring it here. You see that we are not even starting with frame. So you guys are already getting into some more advanced. This search icon, okay. Well, let me go inside of that search icon. I was thinking it's too big, but there's no problem. However, I would have loved to just get my own search icon. I don't like that search icon. So let me use search, and then I pick my guy here. Come here for me, please. So it's more sleek than that. But let me bring that guy back because I need that color first before I will now do away with it. So I put this guy like so, and I put it right here. And then I need that color from that guy. So my selection color should pick this guy. And also this one should also pick this guy. All right, so we can now do away with this guy. So this guy and this guy, all we need to do on them is that we need to set them on auto layout. So we set them on auto layout. It's looking too big for me. That text, it, then the icon. So I have this guy, which is set on auto layout, and right now it's to bottom. So let's leave it to center, left center. And then what we want to do is I want to give it some vertical padding of maybe 10, but the horizontal padding now should be like maybe, yeah, also 10, also 10. Meanwhile, this is too big, so the vertical padding should be reduced to 5. All right. Then what we want to do is that we now want to give it maybe a fill. You can see that fill, and then a corner radius of maybe 10, so that it curves on that side a bit. So you can see that. So with this now, we can actually set the space in between them to what? Auto, so that when we are increasing size, it will increase with the size. However, this padding here should be 5 as well. So we have like this guy should be 5. It's too rounded for me. Okay, so we have it like this. And then if you see it, we need to set the width. This width is unfixed. So let's set the width to what? Hog content. So as we are increasing, hog content and our inner distance to be auto. I thought we set it to auto already. So as you are increasing, is also, you see, no matter how you increase, it's increasing with, see, no matter how you increase, it's increasing with you. So that's set there. So we want to bring this guy here. Are you getting? So we are moving further. We have been able to create 1, 2, 3. So the next thing is that component of login, sign up, and that user stuff. All right. So right now we just want to create 2 buttons. But do we need to? I think I've taught you guys how to create buttons. So we don't need to start creating the button right here in this class, right? So I think we should pick a button from our design system. Let me see. I think we should pick, let's pick these 2 buttons, please. I hope everyone agree with me for us to just pick the button. Please, if you agree with me, say yes, let me know. I don't mind creating it again if you want. Okay, you agree. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we now copied that. So we have these 2 buttons copied, right? So we have them together here. Let's set them on auto layout. Set them on auto layout. Set them on auto layout. But inside of this one should be login. And then this one should be sign up. Now, if you understand auto layout components and designing will be very easy for you. Look at what is happening here. Look at, I'm typing on lowercase, but the thing is automatically setting it to what? To title case. But that's because they have a setting of what on that text. A setting of something of that on that text style. On that text style. That text style actually has a setting of title case on it. Understand? So that's why it's acting like that. All right. So login, sign up. Then the last one is actually this icon. This what's it called now? This notification icon. So let's just copy that guy. And then you can see and paste it here. This guy basically is just an icon. What you do is when you get the icon and you get the color, you just need to set it on auto layout and then give it some maybe vertical padding of 20, horizontal padding of 20, enter, and then you set it on fill, and then the fill should now be your secondary color with opacity. You can see that that's how I created that. Then you have a corner radius of maybe 10. Then you have that created. sharply. So and delete this guy. I just decided to show you guys how that happened. So because it's too big, all we can do is that we can now reduce the we can now reduce this guy to 5 and this one to 5. Too small now. So 10. So you can see it is easy to just be adjusting number down, to be dragging things up and down. So you have this neatly specified here inside of its frame. Ungroup that guy inside of its frame. Okay. So this is everything we need for our header. All we just need to do is highlight all of them and set them on what? And set them on what? Auto layout, because that's what they did here. But right here, if you look at it, what they actually did was that this guy and this guy are actually on one auto layout, and then this guy and this guy are on one auto layout. Okay, so let's do it that way. So we're gonna have this guy, this guy, this guy, and we create auto layout and just set it to right center. Having done that, this guy, create auto layout, set it to left center. Having done that, this one and this one, we also create auto layout for them and set it to what? Left center. So we have them properly arranged already. All that we need to do now is we need to bring it inside here now. Bring it inside here now. First of all, we need to scale it up because we have been working on a very small scale. We are scaling it using K, scaling that guy up, right? Scaling that guy up. So having this, next thing we want to do is that is on hug. So we want to set the space to what? Auto. When you set the space to auto, you are able to, and then you set it to hug, set the space to auto, then you can drag. So you can drag. Yeah, dragging, you see that the ones that are, can see them looking like that. All right. So we used white for some of those backgrounds. That's why they are not reflecting on this, because this is also white. So white on white is not reflecting. So for that search bar, I think for that search bar, we need to increase that search bar a bit. See us increasing the search bar now. But for that search bar, I think the background should not be white. It should come a shade of white, a bit shade of white like this. Then you notice that the height on it is too small. So 10, something like that. And even the spacing should also be 10. The reason why all of them reduced like this because we scaled it. So I think we should just adjust them better. Let me take a look at this one. Okay. It's a bit larger. And then let me copy the background color of this one. Okay, Okay, so let's come here and do that. We want to have all these guys increased a bit. And then all these guys also increased. Use hit K on your keyboard when you want to scale. So that's what I'm doing. I'm scaling them. I'm scaling all of them. And this one also, I want to scale it as well. It can be big as well. And the buttons also, which became very small. I want to scale it also to become big. There's a thumbs rule. If you did your assignment on UX laws, you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's a thumbs rule that your button should not be too small so that the thumb can pick it. So for this one, I want to reduce the space in between them to 20 so that we can go to their corner. And then this one's to the space in between them to 10 so that they can, or 20. And they can also respect themselves. Then I want to drag this guy out like this. And then use positioning to set it to vertical center. Now, with that, you have been able to achieve that. Let me ask a question at this point in time. Guys, is design easy? This is a psychological question I want to ask. Is design easy? Only Charity is not allowed to answer because
It's
is
not
design
easy.
easy?
It's not
It's not
easy.
easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yes, it's not easy.
Charity, what do you have to say about this question? Charity, are you there?
Okay, sorry, I thought I unmuted.
Okay.
Design is actually easy and it's fun. So
I know that's what you will say. so, so
sorry
No,
it's looking complicated right now. Well, I feel you'll get used to it. But just
it
look at the
it's
fun part
actually
of it.
fun.
It's an art.
It's actually fun, but not easy. It's actually fun, yes. But it's not easy. It's actually fun,
let,
yes, but not easy.
let me tell you the answer to the question. If you are doing design correctly, design generally is fun. But if you don't understand the principles, if you're trying to do it correctly, it's not going to be fun for you. Because a normal person will tell you, just carry the logo and put it, write that text here, write this text here, put this thing here and put this here and move on. You understand? But they didn't consider putting using auto layout and components to achieve everything. Because when you want to use auto layout and component, it becomes a hard thing for you. Except if you really enjoy design, then you know that no, I like doing everything the right way. If you do it the right way, even my students in school, when I'm teaching them, I tell them something. I said in programming, because I teach programming. I say in programming, some things might work, but the fact that it is working does correct. You understand? It might work, but the fact that it's working doesn't make it what's correct. You probably did not do it the right way, even though it is working. It's just like when they say mathematics that somebody did wuru wuru to the answer. You may get the correct answer, but did you follow the right process? No. All right. So with the knowledge of that now, you can see that a lot of people actually underrate designers. They tell you that it's not just to design, just add that thing, put this one for me there now, this and that. And they try to say, okay, they know that's why outside the country they pay designers very well. Because imagine coming from the process of doing your research and everything, and then you get to now putting this into a proper design. Are you guys following me now? So I want you guys to be a lot encouraged that this field you are entering is actually a very interesting field. I just want you to enjoy what you are doing. If you enjoy it, you will practice more. And practicing more will make you much more perfect. All right. So let's still move on. Let's now remember we have one guy here that is hidden, right? Which we added, which we can decide to turn on anytime and turn him off at any time. Now look at problem. And can you guys see the big problem happening right here? I'll thank God I actually even checked this. What is the problem happening here? Somebody should tell me the solution because I've solved it with this one before. What's the solution to this now? Who can tell me the solution to this problem now?
Well, I think the last time when it happened, you realigned it on the auto layout this thing
Yeah.
setting. So is it left center at the top center?
Left top
Center.
top center.
Okay.
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 Top center. Excellent. So all we need to do is to select top here. So it moves that guy to the top. And then the reason why I didn't move this one because this one is also in another. Remember, we have two different auto layouts inside so if it was in web, they will tell you that you have two divs inside a container, right? And then when you select them, so we also select this one specially and also set it to what top like so. So that eventually in our design, when this guy is turned on, right, it will not just drop like this. So we can now decide to turn this guy off. Um, we can now turn him off like so. So it is there, and at the same time it's still not there. So it is to the top here, and then this particular one is to the center. Then okay, let me see. On this one, they should be to the top, yeah. And then on this should be to the center, yeah, the center. Yeah, think I'm trying to align this logo here, this one is here. Okay. That means this guy is supposed to be to the center like so, but when this guy turns on, what happens to it? It comes center like so. So because of that, this one goes to the top, and then this one goes to the top as well. So it has to be top alignment. So that what we're going to do is, so if you are using that system, so in order to align everything well, this one also should also be set to left top, so that all of them are properly adjusted. Then this one, just reduce the, yeah, so that it can be balanced with the rest. So with this now, we can easily have them to top, and then when this guy is turned off, still maintains that stuff there like that. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. So we can also solve a problem here like so. These guys should have, even though it is stop, they should have each of them now should have a height of to auto. Okay, so it is setting it to auto. Height to, I want them to be increased a bit. Each of them should go 20, which is too much. 10. So that, turn it on. It gives me this guy. This guy. Then each of these guys should also have 10. So that when this guy is turned up, okay, this guy is turned up here, and it's balanced now. And it is now balanced. So it is now balanced. My NEPA wanted to take my light just now, but something brought them back. Okay, all right, so it is now balanced. So we can easily see that when we turn on this guy now, the reason why a lot of people run from auto layout is here. So we're gonna, these guys are to the top. This one to top, 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 top. Okay, yeah. So whenever we turn it off and turn it on, it remains the same. Okay, having achieved that, we moved straight to the next. The next thing you're going to see here is, let me turn this guy off now. Now, the next thing you're going to see, there's just a straight line, which is an horizontal rule in web. So it's just for us to copy that line and put it back. There's no problem. There's no issue about that one. Everybody knows how to draw a line now. So just copy that line and drop it there. I just put that line back. See the line? The line is, this is where you get the line. Click here. This is line. When you are drawing your line, you hold your shift so that it can be a straight line. So that's how you get the line. Then it's a stroke, so you can set color and the width of the stroke. So everybody understands that. So after you do that, the next thing you want to do, you can see that the page is coming out now, right? The next thing you want to do now is that this particular bar, I believe everybody knows how to do this one now. This is just auto layout. I get you now. This is just auto layout. So there are basically 3 auto layouts here. This is a 1, 2, 3. Are you getting me now? 1, 2, 3. So what we need from here is just these icons so that to save our time. They are just icons. So these icons. Okay, so let's just copy it actually and replicate it. We are doing it exactly the way it is, right? So no problem about copying it so that we will not have to be going there again. And see what they did here. Just a minute. Okay, so what did they do here? Like I said, it's basically just auto layout.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
The icons, why are they grouped into sections? Why are they not just put together like the auto layout? Why is it not like how like all together? Why is it grouped into sections?
Okay, for on this particular one, right?
Yes.
Yes, on this particular one, this is if you look at it, it's called the category. It's the category. Now they are using these major icons to decipher or to differentiate the categories. This icon means programming, or they use it to represent coding. So under coding, you have Python, React, Unity. Then under this icon, they use to represent, is the pen icon, it is to represent design. It means UI UX design, vector design. Then this one is for media. So that is video editing, After Effects, Lightroom, photography. You can see that's what they used to actually achieve that. I don't know if you get it now.
Yes, sir.
That's why they put it in different, so that if you add another one here, it just adds to it. You can see, it just adds to that one. That's you're adding another category inside design.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's create that now. If you want to create that, what do? First of all, we just need this icon. These icons are very easy to get. It's just because of time that I'm not trying to get them. For instance, if I try to get them now, I like using my huge icons. Charity likes using Iconify, so everybody. So if I search for code, this is why I use huge icons. It is very easy for me to just get what I want. Look at it here. Look at the icon here. Very, very easy to get it. So I use the free one. I actually have the paid one, but I don't know why I've been lazy to implement that paid one. So I just bring it here. That's my icon for that. And that of design is pen too. So I can just search for pen. Sorry, or maybe pen 2. Okay, this is it. Yeah. But I like the one that they have here, so we just use that one. Then they have maybe media. Search for media, you should see something like let me just say video. You should see something like that thing they used here. So it's very easy to get all those things. So let's just use their icons, guys. All right. So let's just use the icons once and for all, once and for all. So I take this. That's the first place we want to start from. I paste. Sorry. Put it out. Paste out here. This is it here. Then we have frames that are on auto layout. So we have frames that are on auto layout. So the first one is Python. Let me use my Montserrat, since that's what we're using. I want to use semi-bold and 12. Remember that in your own design, you should already have all those stuff set. So if I have that, I can easily frame the selection. And then when I frame it, I can easily add what auto layout. For the auto layout, I can give it vertical padding of maybe 20 and horizontal padding of maybe 20. So I'm going to have something like this, which is really, really big. But for us to see how big it is, we need to just do what? We just need to give it a feel. And that feel is what? White, right? I think that's the feel they also used, white. Is that white? Let me see. Yeah, white. F-A-F-A-F-A. 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 A shade of white. You can see that. All right. So when you have that, you should be able to, and notice that, of course, the horizontal padding is like 30 and the vertical is 20, so that it's not, it looks like a rectangle. And then you want to have corner radius of like 20 or 10. So that gives you that card can reduce vertical to 15. So assume that we are creating our own, right? We have this. Let me take out this guy from here so we can create our own. Now we can create our own. So if we have this guy, we can frame him and then add auto layout. In order for us to get equal stuff with this guy, we also use the same with it. So we have 15, 30, which is too much for this one. So we're going to use 15, 15 to give us a perfect square. And then his own fill should also now select this guy. And then it should also have a corner radius of 10. So with that, you have gotten something that looks like this. So with that, it is very easy for us to select this guy and select this guy and click on auto layout. When you click on auto layout, you set it to left center. When you set it to left center, you can easily now click on this guy. When you duplicate Ctrl D, it opens another one for you, which you can now edit to say React. And then you can duplicate again, gives you another one, which you can now edit to say Unity. And you see that now. So when you click on this, you see that there is a space in between them, equal space of 13, 13, 13. So you can adjust that space if you want. You just need to come here and maybe change it to 10. And then you have that particular section done. The next one you need to do is this one. So let's just copy that icon out, and then we want to set it on auto layout. Also give it 15, 15. What's going on there? Let's go back. Frame this guy first. Frame it. When you frame it, give it auto layout. Then 15, 15, right? You now have that guy, and then you want to give it a fill, and that fill should now be what? Use your eyedropper to pick this color here. You have that. Then you want to have a corner radius of 10, right? So you have this guy. You have this guy created here. You also now want to have the text content. So I click on this guy and I write, I select my Montserrat, semi-bold, and I write UI, UX, and then what I need to do is I need to frame it, then add auto layout. I set it to what? 15, 30, just like we used for the other ones. 15, 30, and then we give it a fill of FA, and then a corner radius of 10. And then you now have that guy also created like so. Now there's a huge difference. What's the huge difference here? This icon is smaller in width than this icon. So we use 15 here, we use 15 here, and we use 15 on that place. It's actually, so we need to set the width, reduce the width of these icons such that they don't go out of the because we want to maintain the padding. So we also do that here. So they are now almost in fact same height. Okay, so we have that guy. So for this one now, you want to now select this guy, and add auto layout to it. When you add auto layout to it, set the difference to 10, and then we can now Control D on this guy and edit it and call it what? Vector. For this our course, we have UI UX under design. Well, let's have vector 2. Then we have that. Then the next one is this icon. So let's just pick this icon. Come here. How do you create it? You do what? You frame it first and then add auto layout of what? 15 and 15. Then you might want to reduce this guy a bit. Come here. Then give it a fill. And that fill should be the color here. All right. So like I said, when you are starting your design afresh, it's always good to replicate. Just try to do exactly what you are seeing and try and see if you can actually achieve it first. Now, mastery is as a result of constant copying. I used to say it bluntly to my students. I would say, the more you copy, the more you master it. Nobody will know that you are copying it until the day you are a pro. Then you will now see that you are no longer copying anything. But for now, at least be copying good things that you see. That's why they say you have a mentor. You are trying to do what that person is doing. So we want to write After Effects here. So it is Montserrat, and then it is what? Semi-bold, and then we write what? After Effects, and then we come here, and then we do what? We frame it, add auto layout, and then give it what? 1530. Then it gets a feel of what? FA, and then a corner radius of 10. You have done that, you can bring that right here, and it balances with this guy. So you can easily select this guy and select this guy and add what? Auto layout to it. So having added that, their gap is what? 12. You can set to 10 if you want. And then click on this, Control D. When you write Control D, you want to write what? Lightroom. And then Control D again. And then you write what? Photography. All right. So you now have that. Are you getting me? Now have that. Then this icon, this next icon here seem to be, they included it inside. Okay, they didn't include it. They didn't obviously include it. You can see it. Let me check. You see it. You have this guy, and then you have this one on its own, but all of them are being wrapped by another guy. So what they did right here is that this guy, select this guy as well, and then you set them on what? Auto layout. When you set it on auto layout, the gap in between them is determined by you, so you can set it to 40, and then you are setting them to align center, left, center. So they are already in their own auto layout. Then you now have to create this guy. How do you create this guy? You see that this guy has some linear gradient. So let's pick this this particular icon, and then what do? We, since it's already framed, we set it on auto layout, Okay, 10, 10. Give it 10, 10, and then we should give it a what? A fill. But now on this fill now, you want to click here and then come to what? Gradient. So this gradient now, what kind of gradient do you want? They have different type, radial, angular, diamond. So, but we want to give it what? Linear gradient. And then there's this new, this new inclusion by Figma where you can flip gradient, right? So what I'm just going to do is I come here, I just want to turn this way and see what I clicked. I clicked this box to turn it from vertical to horizontal. Now, when you're using horizontal, what do? If you click on this one, you can set it to FA, and the opacity is 100. Then for the other one, you notice that it is not actually visible. So set it to also FA, but opacity of 20. You get, so it becomes, or even bringing, or even 10. So it becomes faded, right? So this flip can flip it, you can see, flip, but we want it here. So that's that. Then when you do that, you have this guy like so. I think that's it. That's that. Then I think their own is not pure white. Looking like it's pure white. Uh, this one should go to FFF. All right. So with that, you want to have a corner radius of 10 curves it. So you can see that guy like so. I see it. And then for something like this, you can decide to give it an effect of background blur so that whatever you put in the background will be blur of maybe 20. So how will you know that that is working? If I set something underneath it, um, maybe I set this color, anything goes under the background becomes blur. So let me set it, send it to back. So as it goes under and look at, it becomes what? Blur. Anything that goes under the background becomes blur. So let's even go to turn that field to 0. So this one should go to what? 0 opacity. So you can see that guy. Then when you want to, you can now move this guy in, like you decide to move it in if you want. And decide to move it in if you want. So it's something you might want to do, but yeah, I'd say we should leave it like this. So you can see what layer or background blur. See layer blur I set on it. What do I set? Background blur. Layer blur will blur the element itself. So background blur will make anything that comes underneath it blur. So let's delete this guy. So with that, we can now have this guy just like this guy, and then we select it, select this frame, and click auto layout. And with that, we have solved that problem. Auto layout of left center. And then with that, we are not using any components right there, right? So we can easily bring our guy down here. Can you see that? We can easily bring him down here and set the position to center. And then you can see how that guy is right there. So we can decide to preview our work. Let's click and we come right here and click the play button. Click the play button. Well, it's going to load. This one is the former one. Let me click on it and play this guy. Hold on, there's something. Okay. Was it that my network had not? Let me set it on a flow starting point here. Let me set it here. Class practice. Set a flow starting point there. Then let me now play it. Well, I can easily see. Let me try to figure that out here. Um, Right. I wonder why it's not showing me my flows. What am I missing out right now? Okay. Let me go from here. I don't know. It should open. It's gonna open. I just want us to see a preview. Okay. Yeah. So let me preview. This is gonna be network. Let me close this entirely. And open it now. Okay. That should open. That should open. Normally it's supposed to list my flows for me. That goes to the network. Because this guy was no longer there. This guy is supposed to show me my flows. Right. So let's hit it. Now, guys, so far this is our progress. Can you see how clean this is looking? Right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can
Yes, sir.
see it.
Yeah, sure. So maybe I don't know if we'll be able to finish up this design today, but it's just because we are actually trying to follow the right procedure, and in the process we're actually learning a lot of things. So maybe we should just finish it to the hero section. However, I will be giving we will be continuing. I'll create a video. Create a video during the week to explain the remaining part, but let's finish it at least up to this place. This one is not in anymore. It's just card. Maybe we'll create it up to this place and this place very sharp, very fast. While every other thing that is here is no longer going to be a problem. I'll just create it in a video so that people can watch. Since you have already understood all the other processes. So so that we can hand over this particular file to the front-end developers to work on. All right. So from this point, the next thing we have is our hero banner, right? So for our hero banner, we just need, this hero banner is height of 500, right? So we just need a frame of 500 and a frame of 500 that will just align all these things, right? So what do we do? We just come here, create a frame, and just drag it right inside here. Let it just be equal size of this, and then set the height to what, 500. And then what's the color? The fill. Use your local styles secondary. Can you see that? So we have that guy. Mind you, you need to pay attention to your spacing. So the space between this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. So we just click on this and tidy it up. So tidying it up here is giving them equal space. So this is 35, 35, 35, 35. All right. So tidying it up makes it make more sense. So we have that guy. So we have this now. When you come and look at it, what's the thing there? Every other thing here is just an asset, right? These are just assets, right? So this is an image, right? So this is an image. We can easily carry it from here or go to our design system, and it's here. It's here. Look at it here. I put it on a blue background so that we can easily all right. So you have this. I just copied it. I come here, click on this frame, paste it. I just pasted it. Look at it looking very small. So I hit K on my keyboard and I just scale it. I just scale it. So I can decide to scale it. All right. Yeah, I can scale it. All right. So we have that there, like that. All right. So we have that like that. And then the selection can be, I don't know, use this accent color to touch on it so that it pops. It looks like galaxy. All right, so you can see that there. Then on top of it, we have a write-up, become a skilled professional with the Maxify Bootcamp. Please, I believe everybody can type this, right? So let me just copy it. Do you guys accept? Everybody
Yes,
can type this now. Let me just copy it because of our time so we can move further faster, right?
yes, sir.
So let's just move this and then bring him right here. So you just place it right here. Now, don't forget something. Your layout grids will now come in here so that you're able to know how to get your grid system where you set layout grid. So don't forget to do that. Okay, so we want to bring this guy here. And this seems to be like become a skilled professional. Actually, in the original design, this guy was on top of this guy. So we might want to bring to front. Now he's now on top of it. So you can see some of the dots on top, some of the text. I see that he's on top of it now. All right. So just to give you some form of unique design. All right. So you have that written, become a skilled professional. Next thing you want to do is this is just an asset. This is an illustrated asset. Somebody just used pen tool to write it, but they probably use the pen tool on this thing they use, this device where somebody can use hand to draw on it. I've forgotten the name. So if you have this pen, you can easily write something like this, like this, like this, like this. You get and then do something like this. That's exactly like what they did there. So let me click on them and change the color so that you can see what I did. If I click and group it and change the color to this, something like this, you get, that's what they did there. But they used the more, so this is just like an asset, right? So I can copy it. Let me delete this my own. So this is an asset that we have. I'll copy it, and also let me just also copy this button once and for all. I believe we don't need to be doing repetition of this again because everybody we've touched on. That's why I started the class touching that so that it will be easy for us. So I can easily come here and what paste them. Now, what is that button doing? Yeah, it's working like so to say here, and then we can now adjust this guy, become a skill professional, right? With the Maxify Bootcamp, so it should be here. So this one is just saying that become a skilled professional. From this statement, you should take this action. Do you guys understand that now? Okay. So the next thing here is just to put that image by the right, and that image is just an image. There's just this girl's image here. Look at it. They grouped it with that. They grouped it with that circle. So that circle is actually on its own. Look at the image here, the transparent background image, and then that same image was actually blurred out here. All right. So let's just pick. That image was converted, was the saturation of that image was reduced and blurred here. That's why you're having this shadow here, not like this is a shadow, right? So let's just take this guy like this and also use it. This is an image asset. All right. So all we just need to do is bring it right inside our design here. I'm actually having a feeling that we should leave our leg outside like this. I'm thinking we should leave our leg outside. What do you think? But then it's just funny, but then it could be an exploration as well, right? So you can cut it out, click on the frame and paste it so that it enters inside of that frame. And then you want to have it like this. You get it now. So you have this. That's how you get the hero. And if you notice there's something here, just on top of the circle, just all of those things are just just assets, just elements that makes things fine. So 79% magnified. So let's copy that. And then we can easily just paste it here. And of course, place it like so. The front-end guy will also place it like that very easily. Now, this is speaking to this a thumbs up that she did. You understand? So, yeah, so came out great already. Let's see the updates of the work. It will load now. Now you can see how far we have gone. You already notice a problem here. There is a white something here. That means our rectangle is not sticking to the end here, right? So we come back here and then come here to zoom. You will realize that it's actually true. So click on this rectangle and make sure it reaches the end of that. And with that, you have done that here and it settles. So you can see now this is how far we've gone today. I don't know, the time is 1 o'clock already. Charity, what do you suggest? Should we just do maybe one layer of those cards or we close? Maybe if it is just this one, I think if we do this one is the same as this one, since you people already understand auto layout. This one is the same as this one. They just change the name to popular courses. And then you should also be able to align these cards together like this. I don't think there's anything here that you should not be able to do. Right. So, Charity, what do you think? Should I just do this one?
Okay, yeah, I think you can do that. Then they would do the rest as an assignment and would follow up with the corrections.
Okay, like the remaining part of the landing page, right?
Yes, of the landing page. So by next week when we come, we'll just continue with the other sprints.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. I think that's okay by me. So let me just move ahead and do that. Okay, so we are actually here. We're actually here. So from here, the next thing is, of course, let's extend our frame a little because we are already going down now and drawing down a bit. So the next thing we want to have is quickly have this. Sincerely speaking, I want to ask everybody in this class, do I need to redo this? Do I need to redo this based on the knowledge we have now? Do I
No,
need to
there's no
redo
need
this
because
back?
we've seen you do it severally. So
Like because this one now, I don't know. No, right, Diana? Is Jime still on the call? Jime, you think? I believe you guys can actually do this one now, right? Using
Yes.
that auto layout knowledge, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
there's this small round circle here. Okay, there's this small round circle here. All right. Then you have the title, the name. Everything is just those two are in auto layout. Then all these ones here are also in auto layout. Then both this one and that one, you put them in auto layout and then set the space to auto. You understand? So that's how that is achieved. I don't think that with this, every other part of the course should be understood. So what you need to do is the spacing between this one and this one should also maintain that 35. Remember that we used for others. So it also maintains that 35. So if I click and center, I don't know if, oh, okay, it didn't maintain 35 because it's like proceeding to another section. So I think we should give it maybe like um, maybe 60. 60 is fair enough. 60 is fair enough. Then after here, let me ask a question on this card again so that I can round up. Is this card impossible for you guys? Is it impossible to do this card? Let's do one. Let's do one of those cards. Let's do one, but let me copy this now and put it there first. So we just do one and then we round up so that we can continue with other pages in the next class. So yeah, so you have this here. So this can come here like this and then stay here. But let me do one of those cards. Copy. I believe if you do one, you know how to use auto layout to get them like that, and even your variant and all that. All right. So this is. I think this is a great exploration for today already. Let me just do that card so that we can go. Now, if you want to have that card, let me delete this. For instance, I copied one of that card out. Okay, let me paste it here. Look at what they did. First of all, uh, you have an image, this image, right? And then that image is called because they added a 10 pixels corner radius, right? So if you take it back to zero, you have a straight image, right? So I added a 10 pixels. I've been saying there. Okay. I added a 10 pixel corner radius here, please. And right here you can even see that there's because this course is taking me back to when I used to replicate people's design. So I'll be saying, this is what they did here. This is what they did here. So I said, let me say we type learn. Oh, remember we're using Montserrat. So Montserrat semi-bold is fair enough. So we are saying learn. Please and please. I have some stubborn stuff here. So let me delete it. I will use my learn, learn, learn. Oh, come here, click here, set this to none as typed. So learn Figma, UI, UX, design, and then for other stress. So I have this. I want to set this to maybe 14. And then, of course, this one is here. I get it now. I said I frame it. This one as well, I can decide to frame it. This is framed, this is framed. Then this one is just, look at, this is just an icon. Please, this is just, I've already taught you guys how to do this. This is just an icon and a text in front of it. So let me detach it so you can see. So this is just an icon with the text in front of it. It's also framed. Then this one too, icon with text in front of it, which is also framed. Let me detach the instance. Then we also have this guy, which is also an icon with text in front of it, which I want to also display the instance. When you see something that is, when you see instant, what does it mean? It means that that thing is is a component variant, right? So it has other states. So if I click on this and I click on this and I click on this, I set them to auto layout all together. And then I put them on align left center and I set their spacing to 15. So that they can, 15 is too small, 20, so that they can be like this. So they are all inside one frame now. Okay, then the next thing is this button, which I don't think I have to replicate. I bring this button here. And then this particular thing is just like 5-star rating. 5-star rating. How was that created? 5-star rating. Look at it here. Maybe I have a circle. I have a circle, right? And that circle, let me just pick this color. I just picked that color now. And let me just set the color to linear gradient of this one is a lighter shade of that. That's what I did there. So I want to have this and this, and then this guy can have a stroke of maybe 4 or 3, and then the stroke is okay. The stroke is inside. Then this one, click here, and then pick this and get in there. But we can now set the stroke to a broken lines, right? So click here and change solid to what? Dashed. Now, because that's is inside, that's what you're saying. So set it to what? Outside. So you can see that. But then the gap in between the dash should be reduced to maybe 2. So you have something like that. That's how they actually achieve that. Okay, so maybe 4. You want it to be a bit bigger. So the next thing is now inside of that. Oh, okay. I get what they did. Look at what they did. Remove this stroke here. What they did was that they duplicated this guy and then turned off, created the stroke with 3. Then with this, clicked this and then selected this color. Are you getting me now? Then here you turn off this color here, right? And then this one now, you can set this guy now to inside and then bring it right inside here. You see that. Let's see. Let me detach it. Yeah, that's how they did that. Okay. So if you see a circle in Figma, you will see this dot here, right? What that dot does is that you can use it to create an arc. So like if I hold that now, I can use it to create an arc like this. So that is the arc actually. And then you can now maybe rotate. I rotate like this. Like this, and then I want to bring this one under it, send to back. So this one is 43. This one should also be what? 43, the same size of circle. Then the both of them should stay in the same place, which is this, like this, and this, like this. So that's how they actually achieve that. Then they now drill another circle inside of it. So you can see that design is actually just thinking outside the box. They now drill another circle inside of it. right? And then place that guy here like this, reduce it a bit, and then place that guy here like this. I'm trying to achieve that. Let me select all of them and get center. Okay. So showing that this one is increased a bit more. So you should have it like this. Yeah. Then this one colors is this color. And you see that now. And then they now wrote 4 inside of it. And you see that now. And then you now have 4 inside of it. And then you can now have this star. Normal, you have a star, this thing here now. Where is it? Here. You have a star element here. So you create a small star here. And then give it corner radius here of maybe 5. Is even 5 is even too much, maybe 2. And then increase the size of the star. But that 2 is way too much. 0.2, 0.4, 0.7, 1. Okay, so we can now let this color, and then they'll put the star here and then reduce the size of the star. So I want to place the star here, and then this is increase the size of the bit, and then give it 0.8. So when you are done, you group all of them together and Control G to group them, or you right click and group it. So with that, you have been able to create that guy. Then you frame selection, and then you name it what? Score. And so that's how they created that guy there. You understand? So with that, you're able to also create yours. Then you can hit K on your keyboard, reduce the guy like this, and then you can set this guy and this guy on auto layout. An auto layout, and the auto layout should be left center, but then the space in between them should be auto, so that you can set hug and set auto, and then this can go like this and come like this and go like this and come like this. Okay, so let me delete this guy. I've done what I want to do with it. Now, having all those elements having all those elements, look at all of them here now. All you need to do is select the frames, all their frames, select all their frames, and then what do? Click on what? Auto layout. And you see, now you have set them, all of them on auto layout. Remember this one, when you move it like this to the end, to go to auto layout. Now that you have set all of them to auto layout, the auto layout itself should now have what? The vertical and horizontal padding of maybe 5 and 5. You get now. So 5 and 5. 5 and 5 is seeming too small. 10 and 10. Now with that, you can now have a fill. And what is the fill? The fill color is this color here. Selected that color. You can see that color there. And then it also has a corner radius of, I don't know if it's 10. Let's try 5. Let's just go 10. Yeah, so 10. And then it also has a stroke. You can see it here, F1, 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 inside of 0.85. So you click on it, add your own stroke, and it's what? F1, 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 inside of 0.85. Simple. So with that, you already have this. So with this, you have just replicated this card. You can see that they are the same. So you just set this and call it what? CARD card. So that is how they created this card. I believe it's well understood to every one of us right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to hear feedback. Is it clear now? Like, is it clear? Are we clear with it now?
Yes, clear. Go over the video later.
Okay, all right, no problem. So please do well to go over the video again. I believe today's class is actually a whole lot, but then uh, don't allow it stay for too long before I will try to talk to the video people to make the video available on time. But even before the video comes, all of you have access to this folder. You can come on this folder to actually, so I'm going to go and drop this in the playground now. So let me copy this and then come to the playground here. So here is going to be your playground. So I'll drop that file here. I'll drop that file here so that you can come and look at it, inspect it, and then try to understand the file. So here it's let me increase the section so that it can accommodate that file. So when you come inside it's not that e-commerce file anymore. This one is the Maxify e-learning. So you see what we have done today. You see it inside. See it inside. See it inside. You see this work inside here like this, so that I can leave this one like this, so that we can be using it continually in the class. So I'm gonna lock it right now. Let me lock this one right now. Let me lock this section. Class practice. Yeah, so that I'll lock this section. And also, so that you can use the playground file. And also unlock this section. And also unlock this section. That you can use it. All right, I think
Yes, I have
with
a
that
question.
I can. Okay, yeah. I want to delete this card now, or let me take it to your playground.
Well, you said about the assignment, you where you stop to complete it. So are we to come and copy it? Copy what you've done already to our own private file and then complete it there.
Yeah, that's why I've put what we have done already. I have put it here in the playground file.
Okay.
So the main one we did is inside this high fidelity wireframe. These are the ones we want to hand over to the front end developers.
Okay.
So this your playground. You can do anything you want to do inside of here. Everything here is for you. If you like, you can delete it to other students. See no wahala. Anything you want to do, you can do it your playground. But don't just leave this app high fidelity wireframe so that we can continue using it to work.
Sorry, sir.
All right. Okay.
Are we going to do it all over? Like, are we starting all over, or we're just completing from where you stopped?
The assignment is actually for you to complete it from where I stopped. But you know that it would be nice for you to also like try to practice it all over from what we learned in class. You understand? Try to do it with your own hand. Although that might not be your main assignment, but your main assignment is to complete it, right? But it would be nice for you to first of all do it from the beginning and finish it to the end on your own. You understand?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so that's why I've put it in the playground for you so that you can let me also copy the complete stuff and put in the playground so that you can also see the end points. Let me copy this also. Put here. I'm pasting the whole section here now. So you also have it here. So you have everything right here in the playground for you, which you can use, right? So for this now, this is what we'll be using in class. So you can everything you need is right here inside the playground. Again. All right, I think it's a good place for us to round up the class today, right? Is there any other question before I round up the class?
No. No.
Diane, Okay, Diane, let's hear your voice, Diane.
Yes,
Talk to
I'm
us.
here.
How, how was the class today? Hope you learned it.
Mm, I learned, but the
That
time
yes
was so
is
short.
the time was short, 3 hours.
The time was, it was short. Oh,
Why is it short?
I feel there's a lot to learn still.
Yeah, there's still a whole lot to learn. There's still a whole lot to learn. But the good thing about it is you guys can always reach out. Charities available. I'm available. She said 3 hours is short. Really. I mean, 3 hours is not short too. So um please just feel free to reach out. I don't know. I don't want you guys to have any in this your learning journey. The best thing for you to do is whenever you have any challenge, don't try to fix it. Like just first of all, try. If you're able to fix it, nice. But if you're having a lot of challenge with it, just reach out. What will take you 1 week to solve might take somebody that has experience, maybe just 1 hour to tell you that this and this is what you should do. So just feel free to reach out. Like I said, you can reach out to Charity, you can reach out to me. I will always be there to give you time. All right. So I think we are good to wrap up for today. Charity, any word? Any word from you? Then I'll just wrap up.
Well, just words of encouragement. Well done, guys. Well done. The learning process is gradually coming to an end. Like she said, time is short. Yes, it's short. And I know that me and Johnson have said, this time is short several times, but still we are finding a way to wrap our heads around it. And thank God someone is saying the same thing today that the time is really short. But in as much as the time is short, please try to find out more things ahead. Like from the materials that was sent from for the first week, there's a course of content there. You don't have to wait till Saturday. That's for some of us that have so much time. You don't have to wait for Saturday to actually get to learn. You can actually go ahead of us and find out. There are a lot of YouTube videos you can get access to or materials. Please, how many of us have tried to go through the book? I know the book is bulky, but how many of us have tried like our best to actually your clients? So please try to go through the materials that have been given to you and then study ahead. It will be best. I'm going to still say this. The auto layout part, please get used to it because majorly for your design to look organized, you have to learn how to use auto layouts and all of that, variant components, basically all that we have done today. Please try to go through your assignments, and I saw your assignments, and I was like, kudos to everybody. Like last week was the first design class we had, and for you to have come up with your assignments, I really saw the efforts. I saw the efforts. Please, you can do better. There's room for growth. You can do better. And at the same time, I'm proud that you are really gaining something. So that's all I have to say. And thank you for staying true to the class. I hope we have more time next time. But like Johnson has said, you can reach out to any of us when you are struggling to even do your assignments and you're stuck. You can just reach out probably on the group chat, or personally you can just reach out to any of us and we'll see what we can do to find solution to the problem. So thank you guys for staying true.
All right. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Thank you so much, Charity. That was really encouraging. So we're going to wrap up now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for staying true. It's been Johnson and Charity taking you through the week 5 of the Maxify UI/UX Bootcamp. And for this week, you've been able to learn about your components, variants, auto layouts, and you've been able to do practicals on creating a landing page. For the assignment you've been given already, you should complete the design and also try to recreate it on your own. Do have a lovely, lovely week and see you next time. Take care.